I hope that you all woke up grateful this morning for your day. You've been given another day. I hope that you've set a high vibe. And I hope that you're getting the most out of your experience. Simple. I hope that when you see limits, you're getting creative. And I hope that when you're seeing setbacks, you're reassessing. All right. That you understand that it's a time for redirection in your life, a time for assessing. Here, let me move it so that you guys don't see that light. All right. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on that people are having a hard time with. All right? And I want you guys to all set yourself a high vibe. Even if you're not feeling so great about certain things. Oh, this light in the back is really bothering me. There we go. Okay. Now, people are suffering a lot of things. Okay? They're not feeling so good about themselves. They're not feeling so good about their situations. They're not feeling so good about what they have to deal with. And that's okay. All right? You guys, we don't have it all figured out. There's a lot of change happening. And like I tell you guys every day, today's a brand new day. You're a brand new person. All right? Don't shackle yourself to the things from yesterday that just didn't make you feel good. Don't do it. You're harnessing yourself to something that, you don't have to make it be that way again today. Right? Understand that. We all have things to deal with. But today's a beautiful day, and it's a brand new day. Okay? And I stress to you guys, find the good in everything. There's a lot of people that have said to me, Tobi, I don't see any good in my life. All right. So, all you guys that are feeling like that you don't see any good in your life, it's because that is your own perspective of things. It doesn't matter what's happening outside of us. It's how we see it. And it's the story that we tell ourselves, okay, that either makes it easier to get through or harder to get through. What do I mean by that? Well, look, it's as simple as this. Yeah, there's some really hard things going on. Okay, but what are you telling yourself? Okay, this is what I want you to focus on. I want you to love yourself enough to tell yourself the good things that you need to hear. And it's hard at first, because it's hard to sit there and try to convince ourselves, our own self, of something that we're not feeling. But that's my point of being repetitive every day. Because when you repeat something over and over and over again, it installs, and it begins to be an operating system. So if you start telling yourself good things, what do I mean by that? Well, hey, tell yourself that you're okay. Tell yourself that there's nothing more powerful than the power of your soul. Tell yourself that nothing will stop you or hinder you from having what you want in your experience of life. Simple. Okay? You got to tell yourself good things. Especially when you're not hearing anything good. And you're not feeling anything good. I want you to understand that you don't need to stay stuck in that. Okay? Life happens to all of us. But you got to pick yourself up. And you got to pat yourself on the back. And you got to find the good in everything. Because if you don't, well, then you're choosing to make it harder on yourself. Why do I stress for people to love themselves unconditionally? Because you have to work in alignment with your truest power. Now, I talk about this truest power all the time. And being in alignment with it. Well, what is it? It's the energy of your being. Okay? That's what I talk about. I want y'all to understand that the power that I talk about that's inside of you is fueling your life experience. So how could you not have it? Everybody who is given today is given everything that they need right inside of them. in their power of their being. See, all of these material things that we want and we strive for and all of this stuff, it doesn't make you who you are. You're unique. Your experience is unique to you. Your perspective is unique to you. And your life story is unique to you, no matter who it involves. Like I've said before, there could be two people sitting there having the same experience, but they're living it totally differently. Why? Because of the way that they see it, or the way that they feel it, or the way that they process it. Okay? There's no two individuals alike on this planet. And that's why we're all needed. Okay? But while you're functioning from a state like I personally did for many, many years, where you're not in alignment with your truest power, well, you're not going to feel good. You're going to cause illness in your body. You're not going to be able to come back from things quicker than you would be able to normally if you were in alignment. You have to believe in the power that is giving you life. Your body is not running your show. Understand that. There is a power, an energy that comes before any manifestation of matter. Okay? So there's an energy before the manifestation of our body. Simple. Okay? So, when you're operating from a place when you're in your truest alignment to the power of your being, the energy that's giving you this experience and keeping your body running, you can make anything happen. But understand that while you're not in alignment with yourself and you're telling yourself all the wrong things, well, guess what? That is what you are manifesting for yourself. It's as simple as that. If you sit there and tell yourself you're tired, you're going to be tired. If you sit there and tell yourself you're lost, you will not find your way. If you sit there and tell yourself that, oh, you can't do this, you will not be able to. And this is what I mean half the time about when you see a limit that you put there yourself, get past it, get creative. And half the time I don't mean it's a physical limit. Okay? It's the limits that we tell ourselves, oh, I can't do that because. Okay? That's what I mean about limits. Push past limits. Anything that you feel limited by in your life, which should be primarily your own thoughts doing it to you, if nothing else. Because I've said it over and over again, it doesn't matter what's happening to us in our life. It's how are we governing our power and our experience. And that's what matters. It doesn't matter what another person thinks of you. Let them talk. Let them live their way that they're going to live. That's got nothing to do with you. Mind your business. Address only things that have to do with you. Everybody has choices to make. Don't beat yourself up for the choices that another chooses to make in your life either. That's their choice. Anyways, guys, I don't want to be out here too long. I want you all to love yourself enough to put yourselves first no matter what. All right? Don't pick yourself apart. And, oh, I love this, but I don't love that. No. Love yourself unconditionally, wholeheartedly. Because nobody could do that for you. That's what I want you to understand. Okay? Stop seeking love in your life. Stop seeking validation in your life. Stop seeking acceptance in your life. Do all of that stuff for your own damn self. And watch how things change. Simple. Honestly. Because, our realities are what we believe them to be, and nothing but that. So if you believe that you're having a great life, well, then you are. But if you believe anything other than that, well, then that is true too. So, like I've said it before, I can't give you guys the answers. You got to go in within yourself and check yourself and check, why do you think the way you do? Half of the time we blame it on our parents. I know I did for many, many years. But I was also blamed for being the way I was by my family for many years. Oh, you're just like your mother. Oh, you're just like your father. So when you get brainwashed with that shit from a young age, well, that's what you start to believe. But in actual fact, I am a glorified combination of the two. But nobody told me that. And nobody told me that I would possess the greatest strengths that my mother carries and my mother's greatest weaknesses. And nobody told me that I would carry my father's greatest strengths, but also his greatest weaknesses. And nobody told me that I would have to carry the trauma of my parents' life with me my whole life. Okay? So, stop making excuses for your life. Stop blaming the people in your life. Take accountability for who you are and who you want to operate as, because that is your choice. I'm the poster child for doomed, or what appeared to be that case, okay? Whole family wrote me off. Friends wrote me off because of their perception of me. They couldn't understand. But that's not who I am today. Because what others couldn't understand, I found my own understanding to it. That's what you have to realize. I refuse to stay stuck being what I was made to be. No, I have the choice to make myself be who I want to be. And I will love myself enough to do that. And that's why I'm getting healthy. And that's why I'm dropping the pounds. It's not for anybody else. And it's not for anybody else's acceptance either. I don't care what another thinks of me. I care about what I think about myself. So the things that I don't personally like, I can change. And that's why I encourage you all to do it too. There are simple little choices that you can make every day to get the most out of your experience. Seriously. When you're feeling anxious about something, talk yourself down. Instead of sitting there going, oh, I'm anxious. Calm yourself down. Tell yourself you're okay. Breathe. Having a panic attack coming on? Breathe. Tell yourself you're okay. You're feeling depressed? Why are you depressed? Because you're in a pity party about the choices you've made? Or are you clinically depressed where you have a chemical imbalance? You better figure that out. And change it. Why do I say this? Because they claimed that I was clinically depressed for years. They claimed that all my anxiety crippled me for years. And yeah, that stuff did. It did. While I was living it. Okay? Like, self-doubt, self-hate. I know what that stuff is. Coming from the background that I did, hey, come on. Who doesn't know that stuff? Guys, you have the power to create your life any way you want it. That's what I'm stressing you all today. You got to love yourself enough to put yourself first no matter what. Don't believe what your ego is telling you. Simple. And we all have one. Take your power back from your ego. Rewrite your script in your own being. You don't need to live anything that doesn't feel good. All right? Check yourselves today. I encourage you to check yourself every day. And don't think for a minute because I've reached this stage in my life that I'm a perfect being. Oh no, I am not. Because that pounce and pound in me that has been installed since I was a little girl is still very much there. Okay? But I can override it. That's what I do every day. Seriously, guys. Get the most out of your experience. How do you do that? You put yourself first. You watch where you're putting your energy. You watch what you're telling yourself. You watch what you're telling others. Speak highly of yourself. Don't put yourself down. Set high standards for yourself. Put yourself first. Okay? Nobody was trained how to do that. These kids. But figure it out. Figure out what works for you. Not what works for everybody else. Okay? I did what worked for everybody else for years. I don't do that anymore. I do what works for me. And it doesn't have to work for another. Simple. But I'm not going to crumble or break or shy away from who I am to please anybody. They're not happy with who I am. That's their business, not mine. So I'd like, most would say, oh, that's quite the attitude to have. No, it's not an attitude. It's standards. And it's standing up for myself where nobody else will. That's the difference. Anyway, I love you all. I want you guys to get the most out of your experience. I want you guys to get the most out of your day. Set a high vibe. You see a limit of any kind? Get creative. That's why you got a creative power. You see an obstacle? Well, hey, grow, evolve, learn about yourself. Because today you're a new person. So don't sit there and think that, oh, you know yourself, because you don't. Straight up, you don't. I would like one person to sit and tell me, oh, they know themselves today. Sorry to tell you, you're a brand new person today. Figure yourself out and what makes you tick. Because you lived yesterday. So you're no longer the same. Understand that. All right? Create yourself to be somebody who's loving unconditionally to themselves first. Don't know how to do that? Figure it out. Figure it out. Don't make excuses for being somebody that, is not very nice or very loving or kind or compassionate. You want to be these things. I'll remind you all today. If you had to write your obituaries today, what would they say? And I've said that many times out on the lives. Think about that. If today was your last day and you knew that, how would your life change today? Well, guess what? Factually speaking, every single one of us today don't know if it's our last day. So that's my point. You got to start living every day as if it's your last. Be loving. Be kind. Act as if that today alone is the day that you will be judged by. That's how I like to live. I'm not perfect. But I like to live my life in a way that, hey, should I have to face the maker today? Do I have any baggage I'm carrying with me? Or is my heart clean? And I'm proud to say my heart is clean. But how many of you can sit there and say the same? Check yourselves today. Anyway, I love you all. I want you guys to get the most out of your experience, and this is why I come out here and I say this hard stuff to hear. Because, yeah, for many, this is very hard to hear. But remember something. All those parents and grandparents out there, your kids are watching you. More than you think you know. Because that's what they're learning. And they're going to model your behavior. So, check yourselves. Because are you acting in a way that you want children to model your behavior? Are you acting in a way? Look at yourselves and say, okay, if my kids were in this situation, what would they want? What would I want them to see coming from me? Doesn't matter what's happening. Understand that while you're inflicted by life, you're still being a role model for those who are looking up to you. But you don't see that. Guys, I encourage you all, put yourselves first. Be unconditionally loving to yourself primarily. Teach others how to do it too. How? Because once you show people that you can be unconditionally loving to yourself, well, then they model that behavior. So, I encourage you all, put yourselves first, love yourselves unconditionally. You're sourced by an infinite unconditional love that loves you no matter what. So stop being so worried about the shit that doesn't matter. Seriously. But yeah, get it right for all the stuff that does matter. You being one of the reasons. Because you're one of the things that matter. Anyway. I love you all. Get the most out of your day. Set a high vibe. Don't let anything stop you. You know, you see a setback, redirect. Redirect. When you're making choices for yourself, understand that there's a ripple effect, and it's not only you it affects. All right? Check yourselves because your children and your grandchildren are watching you. And they will model that behavior because that's what we do. Anyway, guys, set a high vibe. I know that there's a lot of people having a hard time out there, so you know what? Stop telling yourself all the bad things you're telling yourself because you're creating it to be worse. Pick yourself up and tell yourself good things. And tell yourself you're okay. Be the person that you want to be remembered by. That's what I encourage you all to do. Seriously. All right. I love you all. Get the most out of your day. Set a high vibe. Don't let anything steal your peace or your power. All right? Center yourself. Love y'all. Have a great day. Peace.